You want some spook?
I'm Paul from the Lynx Legions, and this is Entice. 5 reasons why you should watch Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. That's right, today we are looking behind the
mask. You get it? It's behind the mask. You get it? Finding the right kind of horror film can take an inordinate amount of work. There are some brilliant ones here and there and quite a few fun ones, but the vast majority just don't do it for me. This one, though, everyone I've shown to has enjoyed, but day to day it doesn't get talked about or appreciated nearly enough. So I did the only logical thing to do. I went downtown and shouted at oncoming traffic for 10 hours. Hey! Hey you! Hey, you should watch this movie! Don't cross the street, I know you can see me! Hey! Watch the movie! Then, I thought about setting this up, and, hindsight's 20/20, okay? Now, by design, horror is a genre that can be done relatively fast and cheap, but with so many coming out on the regular, the gems can get lost in the weeds. Today we fix that by shining a light on this. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Directed by Scott Glosserman and written by Glosserman and David J. Stevie, it's a comedy horror thriller that has become a nearly annual tradition for me, and it doesn't get the attention it deserves. Yet. In this world, supernatural slashers are real, and Leslie Vernon wants to become the next one. This film is his journey, building an origin story and creating his legend. So what makes a great horror movie? Well, it depends on what you're looking for.
And there's the kind of the guy in the spooky mask isn't in a cupboard but standing right behind you, and you just know he's going to go a bloogie woogie woo at some point, but he doesn't, and you're getting more and more tense, but you don't want to turn around.
That's the good stuff. But man, I have a soft spot for what America did in the 80s. Outlandish kills, monsters, gore, an interesting premise, and things boys appreciated before the internet. Because I find so few movies truly frightening, the horror I watch for fun tend to have some kind of twist on the genre, like Cabin in the Woods or Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. This works.
Reason 1. Perspective.
That's right, we're on the other side of this one. We follow the killer instead of the prey. This isn't the first film to do this, but it is the first one to leave an impression on me. Our point of view character is Taylor, played by Angela Goethals, a grad student doing a documentary on Leslie with his cooperation. Her crew includes Doug and Todd the cameraman. We meet Leslie Vernon the only real way you should introduce a slasher, a jump scare.
Hey! I'm just messing with you.
Nathan Basel feels like a more charming Dane Cook to me, with maybe a touch of Stephen Lynch. I have nothing to say with this statement, I just saw it when I first watched it and I can never unsee it. And now neither can you. We see his training regiment.
You have no idea how much cardio I have to do. It's ridiculous.
Why so much?
Well, you gotta be able to run like a freaking gazelle without getting winded. And plus, there's that whole thing of making it look like you're walking, and everybody else is running their asses off.
Oh, right.
And I gotta stay with them.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
And a glimpse into Leslie's home shows us his research.
Would you say that most of these are
Work-related? Well, I wouldn't suggest reading Grey's Anatomy for kicks. This is the fun stuff. Copperfield, Houdini, sleight of hand, escape tactics.
And downtime.
Church and Zoe. Little bastards just won't die. Plants and turtles. Plants and turtles.
Turtles and plants, man.
I only keep pets I can eat.
Leslie shows us how meticulous he is on his target choice.
Everybody thinks we just wake up one morning and start obsessing about a girl and start stalking her, killing everybody that gets in the way.
That does seem to happen a lot with you guys.
No, it's that, no. The girl's the key, yes, but she's got to have a supporting cast. Like that bunch right there. There's your bread and butter. The good-looking, athletic kids with healthy libidos. And those guys over there, They don't move quite as fast when you get them on the run, so they're good to pad your numbers with late in the game. Look at that guy. You gotta find a group who'll all hang together, a little from column A, a little from column B, and one survivor girl who'll tie them all together.
What is a survivor girl?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's an industry term. It's what you call a girl like her who just might be able to walk away from me at the end of the day.
Okay,
It's a fun take to see all the machinations that build up to that one night. Leslie later brings Taylor to meet his mentor, a retired slasher who married the woman who beat him. Wait, what? I know, this is where things take a turn. Apparently beyond the legends and mystery and certainly the thrill of the kill, the act of the slasher is actually highly metaphorical.
Reason 2, Symbology.
Symbology? I'm sure the word you were looking for was symbolism. What is the symbolism?
Symbolism.
That's right, other than evil, the true purpose is to find a girl, primed from life experiences and ideally with the right group of friends to be pushed to her limits, witnessing the effects of the slasher and rising up to symbolically become a woman and defeat him as the heroine. This is what he wants. Finding the right girl to beat him is his life goal.
Plus, Jamie's Hey! How you doing, Jamie?
Good. What's all this?
It's just some grad school kids following me around.
And his mentor, Eugene's, who's played by Scott Wilson of Walking Dead fame, we hear his wife, Jamie, played by Bridget Newton, say he's out back in the tank and the crew should go collect him.
You know, like those yoga guys who can slow their breathing, slow their heart rate down to like 4 beats a minute or whatever. It's good to be able to do that in case you need to look, dead.
After a cold shower and some nice knife skills firing him up, Eugene opens up to the visitors, discussing a bit of his life and having a brief work chat with Leslie.
All right, talk about this.
Oh yeah. I told her that you could give her a history of what it was like in the old days.
Oh, shoot. It was a whole different world back when I was in the game.
how so?
Well, I had a good portion of my success in the late 60s, 70s. Back then, it was about quantity of work. How many jobs can you fit in a year? How many places can you hit? You know, we didn't have all this preparation these guys use today.
But the good ones do, anyway.
That's true. You know, there's always been hacks out there. People mucking it up. One-hit wonders who make a bloody mess of some sorority somewhere, get killed or arrested, and never put it together again. Makes it bad for all of us. It just cheapens it. Like Jay, Fred, Mike, there weren't nobody like them in the early years. Those boys lifted it to a whole other level. They made an art form of it, turned themselves into legends by returning like a curse over and over again. That was a radical change in philosophy. Changed the whole business.
The business of supernatural killing sprees.
She's not exactly on board yet with the whole why we do what we do thing.
No, young lady, about the business of fear. Every culture, every civilization from the dawn of man has had its monsters. For good to be pitted against evil, you have to have evil, don't you?
There are mentions of this peppered throughout the film regarding their code. As things progress, we go to the library, where we get the cameos that make this something special.
Reason 3, Legends.
Hi, I'm the movie man. I make movies. Yes, I know that, sir. That's why I'm here. Good, just making sure we're clear on that. Uh-huh. Well, we need an exposition dump for our new movie. Isn't that an often lazy means of storytelling? Yeah, but what if we got that lady from Poltergeist to do it? The medium lady. Sir. Yeah? You are a genius. Right? Wait, are we just a shitty version of Ryan George right now? Nah, I think we're good. Well. That's right. Zelda Rubinstein shows up in this, giving us her final film appearance that wasn't released posthumously. And she nails it.
Farmhouse, Mrs. Collinwood?
Oh, goodness. Everybody knows about
Never you mind, it's just a story. Turtles picked his bones clean.
Following her flashy exit, we get the one, the only Robert Englund as Doc Halloran, who appears to be hunting Leslie. Following this, we discover he is an Ahab, which is apparently a big deal.
We got an Ahab!
What? We got an Ahab! What's an Ahab?
I'll be damned. Doc Halloran. Right when you need him.
He's an Ahab, and that is a remarkable thing!
You're gonna have to define an Ahab.
Other than clearly the literary figure who would do anything to stop his adversary. Literary reference, baby! Now, having seen the killing actually begin, and noticing that things are clearly heating up, Taylor and co. take a bold trip to get more data on Kelly. And by bold, I mean mumble their way through it and immediately get ID'd by Doc Halloran.
Why are you following this girl? Who are you people?
We're just sitting here, man.
Oh, really? And why are you filming this?
Who are you?
Expect to see more of me.
Foreshadowing.
Excuse us, Todd. Let's go.
We get the information that Leslie Vernon may not be his real name, giving more apprehension to the crew. Surprisingly, working close with a killer who is known for controlling the situation and breaking your agreements with him does not work out too well. So, yeah, don't do that. By the way, there are some interesting camera choices here that you may want to pay attention to on a rewatch.
Reason 4. Interlude. Ode to Horror Past.
While anyone interested in this movie can clearly enjoy it, the more classics you've seen, the more little things you'll come across. It seems like every viewing has someone excitedly pointing out something that they noticed that I hadn't seen before. Outside of Eugene's house, we get a glimpse of the same color, make, and model of Sam Raimi's car in the driveway, and we see he's got a lament configuration, just chilling in his living room. You know, like you do. Kane Hodder, who played Jason in 4 movies, is seen walking into 1428 Elm Street and is genuinely being done with Taylor's shit. This is the same address where Nancy lived in the original. Leslie's pet turtles, Church and Zoe, are the eponymous pets from Stephen King's Pet Sematary 1 and 2. We see some girls playing jump rope in the background of the school scene as a nod to Nightmare on Elm Street. And you know, Robert Englund. There are many more, of course, but I'll leave you to find them yourself. Unless enough people ask me to make a video on just that. This film wears its inspiration on its sleeve.
Reason 5. The story.
After all this, we get the final steps of the plan. We get a walk around the house explaining how prep work is done.
There are 11 exits from the first floor, and another 8 or 9 that might be manageable from the second floor. You want to eliminate as many as you can from being practical. So I've discreetly nailed them all shut.
Don't they just smash them out?
You'd think so, but you'd be surprised. No. And when they do smash it out, it's on the second floor or higher, and then they're out on the roof and they're screwed.
And Leslie's step-by-step plan for the night to show how he'll work his way through the partygoers, stoking the flames of fear until it's time for Kelly to challenge him. We cut to Leslie donning the makeup, again part of the plan, as he preps for the persona he has been crafting.
This stuff's here, it's sort of a preparation H formula, what boxers use. Constricts blood vessels near the surface of the skin. Helps stop bleeding from lacerations, keeps your eyes from bulging if you get hit. And I've mixed in my own special concoction of fire retardant. It's pretty sweet.
Okay, I hear you. What happens next? Who comes out on top? Why have they only managed to make 1.5 good Predator movies? Questions for later. The answer is, after all this build-up, really engaging, and you should watch it yourself to find out. What, this is an Entice video, not a summary of the entire thing. Guys does a review. If this has caught your attention at all, you owe it to yourself to watch and share this movie around. If it inspires you to do so, maybe share this video too, and, like and subscribe, and share it with that little share button. Yeah. Behind the Mask is on DVD, Blu-ray, Amazon Instant Video, Google Play, iTunes, and of course, Shudder. Lastly, with all this insider information, I bet you're wondering if there's any tips to help you survive your own horror film with one of these slashers. Well, I'll let the expert take it from here.
How about some advice from the experts? How does one survive an encounter with someone like you or Leslie?
I like her, Les. She's a little spitfire.
So, how about it?
Well, I'll tell you. Never hang out with a virgin.
You got a virgin in your crew, either get somebody in her pants or get the hell away from her.
Aside from that, the simple answer is run like a motherfucker and don't stop till the sun comes up. Pardon the French, but there it is. And don't try to hide. We'll find you. Don't try to be a hero and fight us. You'll lose. Now pick out a clear spot ahead of you, as far away as possible, and run straight. And don't ever, ever look back, because you won't like what you see. I promise you that.
How about sticking together?
Well, sure. Sure, you can do that. Just make sure there's one poor son of a bitch slower than you when it comes time to run.
I'm Paul of the Lynx Legions, and that's a thing that I know. And now you know too. End.